Go for it.
Hi, team. um, like Joan said, I'm Karri Legault. I'm a co-captain of Team Fit and Fierce with Megan Ewaldson. And I started coaching in May 2012 because I was, at the time, taking a year leave from teaching middle school math. And I was not loving how I was feeling. I had two little girls, 6-month old and 2.5-year old at the time, and up late watching TV shows, and nothing really else was on other than the infomercials. And I grew up as an athlete, and then I became a gym rat. And so I wanted to know the really real scoop on P90X and insanity. And a friend of mine put me in touch with a Beachbody coach. I had never seen Facebook act like a tool to get me some answers, and that was the first time I experienced that. So it was really exciting. I did insanity when I started. Fast forward a little bit. I was kind of a slow grower at first. I didn't understand the importance of Success Club. I didn't understand the importance of increasing rank. I just wanted to help friends and family. And that's basically what my mindset, that part of my mindset hasn't really changed. I do most of my work from my personal page, and most of my team I know in the real world, I call that. In real life, I know them. So I'm a little different than some coaches. I'm actually like the opposite of Megan. So like we balance each other really well that way. And I was an elite coach in my first full year of coaching. I was a elite coach last year, and then I'm also going to be one this year. So I'm pretty excited, and I hope to share some good nuggets with you. I have to admit that I wasn't exactly a reader growing up. I actually would beg my mother to read my work to me because I was a swimmer and I was tired and I had to get up early. Like, it was bad. And my mom, bless her heart, she did all the way like into high school. It was pretty pathetic. So I liked math and science, and I didn't understand really that we should work on our strengths rather than our weaknesses. So I am one of those people. I went to college, and I got an English degree. It's crazy. I ended up having to take so many English and history courses and read so much. Looking back now, it makes total sense. Like, it's like just who I am. Like, I don't go the easiest route to get to where I want to go. But I have, determination and discipline to do whatever I set my mind to do. So I got a degree from college in my worst subject area. And then I decided I wanted to probably be a waitress or something like that, like something fun like that, because I didn't have any jobs growing up. I just swam. And then the teaching career fell into my lap. The middle school in my hometown city was hiring 13 teachers that year. I took the opportunity to teach middle school math for 12 years, and then that whole thing happened. I got married 5 years later. We started a family a couple of years after that, and I decided when I was home with my second one that I couldn't leave them. So I decided in that moment that I was no longer going to drive away from my children. I took complete responsibility. I told my husband, if this is just one part-time job, I'll get 5 of them. Like I said, I didn't really understand the building the business part of it. And then it wasn't until personal development that I started to be able to wrap my head around it and really take responsibility as far as my daily actions and the discipline to do those things. And they didn't have to be complicated. Megan and I started our team. I was a year into coaching. She was about 6 months. And we just went crazy with training and all this kind of stuff, kind of reinventing the wheel. We didn't understand about upline support because we didn't have it. We had a sponsor that had broken away from the team and basically didn't let's put it nicely, didn't recommend that we reach out to our uplines for support. So Megan and I were kind of in the dark and just scrambling and working hard. But that was the point in which this first chapter in the energy bus comes into play. The first chapter is, or the first rule, if you will, is you are the driver of your own bus. And once you start doing PD, you hear yourself say things differently. And I don't know if it makes you, I don't want to say more judgmental, but it makes you aware of how people use words, and it makes you more sensitive, I think, to your surroundings. For example, if somebody tells me that I didn't have time, I hear you weren't a priority, or that wasn't a priority for me, because you are the driver of your bus. You take full responsibility. So that means in all aspects of it, I didn't have time to do my PD. My PD was not a priority today. I didn't have time to do my invites. My invites were not a priority today. But the nice thing with Beachbody is we can redo that every day. We can be better than we were the day before. Some of you have probably heard Kim Carver's win the day. I don't win the day every day, but darn it, I try to. But we also work in a company that allows us to do that. To have a little bit of downtime, and to unplug a bit. But so basically chapter 1, you're the driver of the bus. You control where that bus is going, who you're going with. And it leads us right into to the second rule. It's desire, vision, and focus. That you're moving your bus in the right direction. And so how does that play into Beachbody coaching? That comes into, where is your heart at? What do you want to do with this? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? That goes into your vision, which is your dream board. And hopefully you guys do that and do that regularly and update regularly, because it's so important. It's so magical to put something down on a dream board, because it does come true. It's putting it out there into the universe. And I'm not one of those like fluffy, like people that's all into energy and whatnot, but I do believe, because I've seen it happen, one crazy goal for my vision board this year, and I don't say this to brag, I come from a family that was teacher and firefighter, so it still feels weird for me to say, but was to save over $100,000, and we're going to do that. And then that's just crazy to me. I put that on the vision board at the beginning of the year. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I'm like, it's going to happen, and it's happening. And then the last thing is the focus. The focus part of it is in the daily actions, in the non-negotiables. Are you making Success Club non-negotiable every month? Are you recruiting people every month? And are you teaching them how to make Success Club? We can complicate this and talk about training for hours and hours. You can go in the back office and listen to all the national wake-up calls. The same message is going to come through. How do you grow a business here? You yourself hit Success Club. You find coaches and you teach them how to hit Success Club. That's it. It's really that's it. And that just creates an exponential increase in your team size once you start duplicating that. So for some of you, it will take a really long time if you're not on a team leg or whatnot. We don't have to get into that, to get to 100 coaches. But then there's like a nice thing that happens. You get to 200 faster, and then you get to 400 even faster than that, and 800, and you see how it goes. So it's pretty exciting. As long as your heart and your vision is clear, you can focus on, the things that you want to do daily, and you'll get there. The next rule was 3, fuel your ride with positive energy. I don't know what it has been about positive quotes and positive feelings and whatnot. I didn't even know I was going to share this tonight. I grew up in a very non-positive home. My dad is an alcoholic. Those of you that have followed me on social media might know that my brother fought for his life for about 5 years and recently got a transplant last October. It's been 1 year. He was also an alcoholic. So I grew up with a lot of do as I say, not as I do. I don't want to say that my dad is a bad person or my brother is a bad person. They're not. They're probably 2 of the most giving people that I've ever met. But they made really bad choices, and they weren't such great people when they were under the influence. So it's kind of strange to me that I like dove into positive things all my life growing up. Like I was the collector of positive quotes. I love that motivation and like how that makes me feel. So number 3 is fuel your ride with positive energy. You feel those negative thoughts come in, replace it with 3 positive ones. Like, I don't like how whatever. I don't like how I look in the sweatshirt today. But my nails look good. My teeth are nice and clean. I had a good workout. So replace it with 3 good things. You know what I mean? We're human, so we're going to have those negative thoughts creep in every now and then. But try to keep it fueled with positive energy. Negative energy is like a virus, a cold. It just like gets worse and worse before it can get better. So if you try to keep things positive, it'll stay that in an easier way for you. Invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. Okay, so that's another thing. Just don't have anybody get on your bus. We get to be picky about that. And I know some people want to have like these discount coaches or whatnot, but like I don't like negative Nancy's or negative Norms or anyone that's bringing any drama anywhere. Like they can't all come with us. And you can't fix someone unless they want help. So not unless they want help are they being invited on my bus. And I've had some negative Nancy's that have turned their lives around. So I don't say like cross, like you're not getting on my bus, seats taken kind of thing. I'm saying, they need to be taking action and you need to be upfront with them. Like, hey, you're not going to post negative topics or points on Facebook and be part of our team. I don't want you to confuse your customers and what the community we have represents and whatnot. Just a couple of days ago, I had to reach out to a newer coach and I said, that post that you made, it didn't seem like you. What's going on? And he said, well, I had an appointment. They heard something irregular with my heart. It came out, when my car broke down. It just all hit the fan at the same time. I apologize. You're right. Nothing good comes of that. And you know what? He turned that post around by his next post saying, hey guys, I'm human and I had a down moment and I thank you all for my support, but that's not who I am. I have this and this going on. And he just turned it around. So like being upfront with your people about when they get on your bus, what those rules are going to be, are really important for you to have a successful Beachbody business. The next thing is 5, don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. Oh, this is one of the most frustrating things for me. Simplest way to put it is work with the willing. We can't help everyone. And there are some people that you're going to drag for a long time. And if you cannot do that from the beginning, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache. I'm not saying to not be friends with these people if you're friends with them. I'm saying business part might not be good for them and you can't carry them. You can't bring them. It's just taking away from you. So don't waste your energy on people that don't want it. They'll come around if it's meant for them. I give them kind of, I don't have things structured. Joe knows I'm not that emerald, but like I give them a few chances and then I blatantly say, I'm here for you when you want me to help you in this area of your life, but I'd rather us not talk about this anymore. I'd rather us go back to, being friends and, talk about mom stuff because, this isn't working for me right now. And you can obviously say that however it makes sense for you. The next one I love, it says no energy vampires allowed on your bus. So what I have referred to them in the past, and I think this is so much better, energy vampires, is dimmers. You guys can think about it like you can feel, and I'm not that kind of energy crazy. Well, I don't want to say crazy as someone is, but you know what I mean. When a dimmer walks into a room, like you're at a party and you just feel that heaviness, don't let those kind of people on your bus. If you're cringing when you see the pop-up of somebody commenting on some post, yeah, that's not the kind of person you want in your group. That's not the kind of feelings you want floating around on your team. And you as a leader need to, whether it's eliminate or whether it's caution, 3 strikes you're out kind of thing. It goes back to you just fueling your bus with positivity. And if there's an energy vampire that's sucking the life out of you, you got to get to the bottom of it. I have 2 star diamond leaders on my team in the past month that didn't have a great September, which was expected. We thought September, like we've been here a couple years, we know. But then it turned into a not great October. And then the beginning of November turned into a not great November. And I was just like, are you kidding me? We just started November, They were being energy vampires and they were taking people with them. And I had to stop it. I said, one thing I find is an easy way to do that is just delete the post in a group and then message them privately. I think a lot goes with, being in tune with your team and respecting people, and nobody wants to be thrown under the bus in front of their friends or reprimanded or feel like they are. So private messages go a long way, and voice messages go even better, especially when it's stuff that might not be so nice in black and white. Number 7 was enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride. So I know Joan likes to have fun, and we try to do that on our team too. We try to spice it up a little bit. Today we had a fun post about it's essentially a diamond tracker, but we made it a post about celebrating our team because we recognize that the distance between an emerald and a diamond rank is sometimes a longer process just strictly because of those requirements. And then we also used it as a way to energize or be enthusiastic about our leaders getting back to diamonds. So it was any lifetime diamond that fell out, and we celebrated that way. So what it did was it created a thread ongoing all day, of people that are saying, hey, I have 5 or more coaches, I want my diamond tracker started. And it was just really a fun, positive thing. And as you share more that your team is doing and fun things like that, and Joan, what are some things that you guys have done lately? I know that you did Dub Smash or something recently, I think.
We did Dub Smash. It was you have to post what you're looking what this month is gonna look like for you. So somebody was the diamond song, and Ryan did everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
It was just silliness. But we did that, and we did the Whip and Nene Wednesday like you did. And
yeah. And I think not only does it attract people to a team, as you share your blitz, and your blitz is fun, but in your group, it's going to attract people to positive energy and want to work harder and make more volume and change more lives. So I think that's a huge piece of what needs to happen on a regular basis, because like I said, those simple things of hitting Success Club, finding new coaches and teaching them how to, that gets a little monotonous. So enthusiasm is definitely something that you want to make sure. Love on your passengers. So one of my things is I have my team read the 5 love languages. If they read the whole book, yay. If they don't, and they just go through and try to figure out, through the love language quiz, that's fine too. I want to know what inspires them. I myself personally, my love language of service is by far higher than any, and I share that my love language of receiving gifts is my lowest, and my poor husband brings me flowers and whatnot. Just
we're mine's gifts, so feel free to send them my way. You can just send them to me when you're not using them.
Okay. Reroute them. So loving on your team in the right way that they like to be loved on. Not everybody wants to be celebrated or recognized publicly, but someone might like to just connect with you on the phone and hear you say their name a few times. It's known that the most beautiful word to practically everybody on this planet is their own name, hearing their own name being said. So love on your passengers, do it intentionally. And if you're not Emerald like me, maybe you have to set reminders. Like, okay, Monday, I'm going to reach out to X, Y, and Z, and Tuesday, so-and-so. But that comes to being a good friend and being a close community. Love on your passengers. 9, drive with purpose. We hit on that a little bit earlier when we were talking about desire, vision, and focus. But purpose is, I think, very specific to Beachbody in a sense that you need to know where you're going, why you're going there, how you're going to get there, and by what time. So it needs to be that concise and that specific so that every day when you sit down, you're going to be driven to do those little actions every day. Your purpose is your why. You know, it's bigger than you. And as you grow, it becomes much bigger than you. The lives that you change or have the opportunity to change, I mean, I can't even fathom it in, 3 years in now. And then the last part is have fun and enjoy the ride. I think that's the most important piece for us all. If you're not enjoying this, then you need to check what you're doing. You should be enjoying this because it's incredible what we're allowed to do, the tools that we're given, and how we can impact others on a daily basis. So, that's the energy bus in a nutshell. I want you guys to know that it reads like a story. It's not a workbook type book. It's very much a very quick read. I read it in a weekend, and I'm excited for you guys to read it, whoever does get it. And I want one thing that's funny is that the bus driver, her name is Joy. And it's funny to think of who or what you picture her as. I think this would make an incredible play. And I think that's about it. This is what it looks like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I started listening to it today on, how do I make it so I can see everybody? Can I not do that?
Gallery.
That's what I just tried to do. Look, it won't let me. It says, too bad we just want to look at Karri. It's fine.
Making that funny face too.
So anyway, I started listening to it today, and it's really funny because the guy who reads, I think it's the author, but like, he does kind of like make up a voice for her when he's reading for Joy. It's just,
hey, sugar.
But
yeah, it's such a good book. I even though it reads like a story, like I attack this book so much. I'm actually going to use this book in my 10-day Shakeology challenges, and I'm going to be reworking my scripts for that. There's an awesome idea about bus tickets. So physically having bus tickets for people to get on your bus, I think is neat. It's just, there were so many great ideas. I was scanning through it earlier today. I was like, oh, that was a good point, and that was a great point, and I need to talk to so-and-so about this. I'm
going to have to get the book because I'm definitely more of I like being able to read and like mark it up and look at it rather than just listening. So, but thank you so much. Does anybody have, do we have a couple minutes? Does anybody have a question for Karri? You can either like unmute yourself and just like throw it out there. It can be about the energy bus, or it could just be about like her business or whatever. Or if you don't feel like, if you're going to be shy, you can put it in the chat, but like really don't be shy. Just yell it out if you have any questions. I can't see everybody either. So you literally are just going to have to unmute yourself and ask if you have one.
I don't have a question, but Joan told me about the energy book like a week or two ago, and I listened to it in like 2 or 3 days. It was amazing. I left it on all the time. And one of my favorite things in there was emotion is energy in motion. And I've been thinking about it a lot this week, and like just people being negative at work and being like, we got to change. But just wanted to share.
That's a great point. And I think that aligns with, be careful and mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with, because they can literally, change your energy. and your mindset pretty easily. And it's sometimes hard to reflect on and see who can come with you, if you will.
You know, it's so funny too, is when you mentioned when you start doing personal development, like really paying attention to the way other people say things, it can sometimes drive you nuts. And I was just thinking about how Ryan and I were on a flight, and our flight attendant was like, she said something like, we're going to try to make it there by, you know, and I'm like, we're going to try to make it there, like, or are we making it there? You know, like just like the little things that people say that they don't even realize makes like a huge dent in, and I'm going to use somebody as an example and I won't point out who it is, but they kept saying, I just have to get organized, or I just have to start doing it. And I was like, how about you just strike that out and just say, I'm doing this.
Or even the way they say frame have to, like, I have to go to the grocery store, or I have to, you know, like, no, you're the driver. This is your choice. You know, like,
I want to go to the, you know, like,
yeah.
I started reading this book today and I like blew through, I don't know if you can see what I'm
yeah.
Big Magic, but I blew through like 140 pages while Ryan did his beast workout. And I'm like, this book is so good. But, you know, no, I lost what I was going to say.
You're gonna make a point about how you like the book.
Yeah, but it wasn't about how I liked the book. It was something that she said. It was a point that had to do with this. But I won't keep you on forever. Anyways,
No, that's okay.
it's really good. I can't remember what it was. It was having to do with what we were saying. But.
The love on them. They even say how to love on your passengers, make time for them, listen to them, recognize them, serve them, bring out the best in them. And that's just like the 5 love languages right there. So.
And
I mean, this is a really, really good book. I would love for us to have something like that, like him at our leadership or summit. I think
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But
get them on your bus, guys. All right. Well,
I hope that helps some.
It does. Thank you so much, Karri, for taking the time to chat with us. And I'm sure I'll talk to you like soon.
In like 5 minutes.
Bye. Thank you. Bye, guys. Have a good night.